Hello, I am Mal, and this is my Let's Try of Aven Colony. So those of you probably might not be familiar, this game's only been out for a couple days in beta access, actually, as you can see here, so bear that in mind. But Aven Colony is a sci-fi themed builder game, and I've played a lot of these games. Now, the closest I would say in relation to this that I've played before is Planet Base, which I did a couple of series on and really enjoyed. And there's a lot of similarities, so I felt at home with Aven Colony, and I wanted to share it with all of you. So again, this is a Let's Try. We're going to do a handful of episodes. We'll see how it goes, and then as the beta develops, maybe we'll revisit Aven Colony. So let's jump into this. So when you do these scenarios, obviously there's like an in-game objective. So we'll investigate that a bit. I'll go through the basic structures, and actually even these initial scenarios are actually pretty in-depth.
Welcome to your new colony. Commissioner Veronica is eager to see how you can grow this small settlement on Aven Prime. Here is your first objective.
All right, so we've already got ourselves an objective to build a water pump, and you'll see these come up periodically. So essentially you do these little missions or quests or what have you, and it then gives you some type of reward. In this case, we're going to get nanites. So before we jump into that, let me pause the game and let's just go over the interface real quick. Starting off on the left-hand side, you have your overlay modes. So air quality, resources, housing, food, so on and so forth. And as we get into this, we'll cover more of that in more detail. Let's close that down. Then we've got colony control panel. There's a lot to this, so we're going to take a second to go through this. This is currently what we have on hand, and sort it by quantity or what have you. So we've got a lot of ration packs, but we obviously are going to have to prioritize getting both food and water grown locally. So that'll be one of the first things that we work on. Our current morale breaks down what the issues are. As an example, not so great on the whole crowding bit, so we clearly need more housing. They're concerned about food, and we need higher food variety, because right now we're just doing ration packs, and those things are not all that tasty, I guess. Unemployment, they want work, obviously. Purpose, freedom are good right now. But you're going to go through this, or you're going to reference this throughout playing Aven Colony. It's pretty important. It's so important that it actually has its own highlight down here as well. We can enable different policies as we essentially grow in political power. Every couple of cycles, there's a referendum, and you get revoted in. And if you do, it'll open up different policy options for you. Again, we'll jump into that more as we play. Here's our colonists, current buildings, our current mission settings, and then statistics. There's a lot of info available. Trade, we'll get into this later on once we have a trade hub, but we will be able to trade with ships in and around the system. And then here's our primary interface. You've got tunnel, which is essentially this game's version of roads, and it actually does have a pretty interesting impact. Not only does it feed power to other structures, as you can see here with these starting structures, they're all connected up by this tunnel system, but it also affects, I don't want to say travel time, but it does affect how buildings get their workers. So as an example, we could put a structure, say, over here and connect it with just multiple structures back to this without using tunnels, and it'll have power, and yes, you can get to those structures, but it seems like the colonists prefer to have easy access via the tunnel system. I guess it's faster for them. So as we go through, we'll be trying to be mindful about where we place these. And you can only place structures where you have drone coverage. So as you can see right here, here's our current drone coverage. And let's say we want to build, we'll just grab solar panel. So where can we put it? Well, right now, just right here. Let's see, how far out can we go? No power because there's no construction drone. So as long as it's green, we can place it. If we place it anywhere in the yellow, it'll automatically have a connection and power. And if we go outside here, like green, anywhere green, we're good to go because the drone can reach that. If we go out here with red, that means the drone cannot. So it's kind of interesting. It's got some complexity to it that I like. Okay, so let's go through the rest of the interface. You've got residential buildings, and the way that buildings work in this game is you build the first one, and once you build the first one, like for instance, let's say we build a habitat, then the tier 2 would then be available. And you can see at the bottom it says requires, it gives you all the information. Resource management, we've got mini storage, storage depots, the chemical plants and the mills are here, as well as the research center. We've got spaceport, we've got the immigration center so that we can get new colonists, the trade hub so that we can do this function over here. Electricity structures, they're broken into solar, geothermal, energy batteries, and Zorium generators. And we'll obviously discuss that more in the future. We've got a couple different types of drone construction. So we've got the actual construction drones, then we've got scrubber drones, we'll get to that, and then police drones, which obviously keep crime down because that does become an issue eventually. Then you've got farming structures. So a farm, which is good for most of the year other than winter, can produce a lot and they're relatively efficient. But your safer bet is generally greenhouses, which are more expensive to invest in, but they work even in the winter time. Then you've got various types of mining structures. I'll go over that as we start to mine resources. And then a nanite processor. And nanites are used for all of our construction. So as you can see down here, we've got food, we've got water, we've got storage, we've got our air quality, we have our population / morale, and then right here you have nanites. So we currently have 189, we have none coming in, and we're at 19 of 38 power. Okay, water buildings, air management buildings. I'll go into the differences between air intakes and air filters later. And then service-related buildings like bar and grill and parks and retail centers and hospitals and all those kinds of things. And these have actually subclasses to it. So like if we build a bar and grill, once we put it down, we can then flag it as like an actual bar or a restaurant. Again, we'll get into that. I just want to give you some basics. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's unpause and build some stuff, shall we? All right. What do we need? Actually, let's not unpause. Let's build that water first. Water pump tier 1. And... okay, 90% productivity right there. 90% here. Okay, that's definitely good enough. So we're going to go ahead and place water pump right there. And we can see our drones going out to build it. All right, now let's take a look at farming. Let's start with some basics. We need let's see, how about corn? 70%. So it looks pretty good right here for some corn. All right. So then let's go to farming structure. Objective complete, so we got 12 nanites for that. Let's go ahead and build a greenhouse right here. That's corn. And it's telling us that our pump is not connected, which we know. Just go ahead and run a line out to it. Now, let's talk about upgrading things. So we have a construction drone hub. Currently tier 1 of 3. You can see the panel here, basic information, the current morale, what's affecting it, whether we can shut down, if we need to repair it, if we want to recycle it or destroy it or what have you. But I want to upgrade it. It's going to cost us 12 nanites, but it's going to give us another drone, so things are going to get built much quicker.
Your colony could benefit from a higher level of
build a farm. Now, I don't really necessarily care about building a farm, but to get the 50 potash, which is an enhancement that you can use that speeds things up, and the fact that it gives 5 nanites, I might as well. And then the season that we're in right here, you see we're in spring, we'll still get some use out of a farm at the moment. And inventory storage looks okay-ish. And we're okay on power. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at... let's see.
I have a new request for you, boss.
Build a solar panel? Yeah, I will. Take a look at the overlay again, and let's look at... already got corn going in. What about maybe a melon farm, like right behind it? Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. Okay, now we just need to click on this. Yeah, see, it's set to rice. We're gonna switch that to melons. And are you set correctly? You're set to rice as well, and I want you set to corn. Not sure why it does that. I don't know if it does that based on it saying that might be the best thing to do there, or if it's just because of the, the fact that it's still a beta. I'm not sure. All right, so let's grab a solar panel 3. Actually, hold on. Let's double check here. How do we want to do this? Let me pause this for a second. I just want to double check farming resources before we do this. Seems like down here is not all that great for farming, so maybe we could come this way with the solar power. Let's just double check. Yeah, that looks good. Let's go here. Go, drones, go! It's a very pretty game. I mean, visually, I like the way it looks. There is a little bit of sort of like, video lag and what have you. When you get a bunch of structures up, it starts to slow down a bit. But that doesn't really seem to happen until like mid-late game. And again, it's still a beta, so it's being optimized. But I really do like the visual look of it. Now, you contrast this against something like Planet Base, and what I would say is this game seems to be going for a more sort of realistic look, whereas a game like Planet Base went for sort of a cartoony look. They're both cool, don't get me wrong, but I think between the two, they're pretty even in terms of appeal. I might hedge towards Planet Base being, at least for me, visually a little more appealing, only, again, because I like that cartoony style. But that's just personal preference. It's not whether or not this game looks good. It does look very good. The sound production is good as well. I like the music. The sound effects are solid. There's quite a bit of voiceover, which was a surprise to me. But that's kind of nice too. Okay, picked up some beer and some other things. How's our storage doing? Okay, we're gonna need to build some new storage. Storage Depot 1. These take up a lot of space, and their adjacencies don't seem to matter a whole lot. Insufficient power, huh? Okay. Oh, okay, great. What do we want? Well, we want nanites, so we can build some more stuff. I think what we'll do is we'll just sort of kind of create a block here. One of the things when I was playing by myself is I didn't plan out my sort of road system all that well, which I regretted later. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more careful and more mindful about it this time.
A new mission is available.
Geothermal, okay, which we can put right there. So we do have this mine right now processing iron, and we need a nanite processor, actually. We can get here in a moment. Go ahead and let's see, let's grab... Go ahead and grab the geothermal? Yeah, I guess we do. It's a bit pricey, but worth it, I think. And yes, I just did go through part of a farm. Now, how are we on colonists? We need some additional housing over here somewhere. Let's go ahead and put an apartment in as soon as this is done. Should probably build your power structures before doing all this other stuff. I'm comfortable doing this right now because the colony's in early development and I'm more concerned about layout. But you probably do want to build enough power before you start running all these roads and whatnot. I'm just saying, you probably do. Winter's approaching. Okay. We should have enough resources to get us through the winter. And I was concerned about storage, but as soon as we get into the winter, our food production's going to drop, so I don't think it's going to be a real big problem. Let's go ahead and use some of this potash stuff for 40% improvement on our corn. Come on, geothermal. It's important to note, too, that your solar panels, unless they're upgraded, they're not going to produce anything during the winter. And even when they're upgraded, they're only going to produce 50% of their normal value. So they're not great. Okay, so winter's coming.
I hope you're keeping the happiness of your colonists in mind as you grow your...
Build an apartment. Yes, I agree. We should do that. There we go. You saw those green arrows that would show you like where people are going to come from in terms of what area that's going to service. It's also a good idea when you think about planning things out in terms of adjacencies to add the morale structures near where you have your people coming in. So like we'll probably put in a little bar and grill or maybe a park or something. Let's put a little, well, how big's the park? Can we put the park in? We can. Let's put a park like here with the thought process that we're going to put other, maybe an additional apartment building or something with them, right? Let's put a park right here.
We have some thoughts on how to best...
Yep, build a nanite processor. Good call, game. Good call. So let's put that right there. Got a copper deposit here. Let's go ahead and put a mine on that. Speaking of mines, can we upgrade this and how much would it be? 12 nanites. All right, let's go ahead and make that investment. What's cool too is that these little mission objectives that you get, if you go ahead and like build something ahead of getting the mission objective, it doesn't really matter. And the other thing that I think that the devs of this game need a lot of credit for, because a lot of games miss this, is that, like for instance, we're moving into winter. It does a good job of trying to prep you for that. Like it said, hey, well, you know, you probably should build that geothermal because it may not occur to you that the solar power is not going to be as good in the winter or what have you, especially if you're new to these kinds of games. And the game builds on itself, so you'll have new challenges as you go along. And it gives them to you in sort of edible chunks so that you don't get overwhelmed. And now, obviously, I said that I was familiar with these types of games and I've played others like Planet-based. But even if I hadn't, I would have felt pretty comfortable fairly quickly because like I said, the game does a great job of introducing new mechanics to you. Which not a whole lot of games can claim that, quite frankly. A lot of games are just like, here you go, have fun. Hope you figure it out. It's like, well, that's a little rough. Okay, how's our storage? Are we okay? Yep, we're still okay. We can hold off on building that for now. And our air quality is good. It's at 99%. Let's just double check where... Well, no, looks good. A little lower out here because we've got some... Obviously, that's a production facility. Mission complete. 47 pasta. And new mission.
Benefit from increased storage capacity.
Yes, I know it could. We were just talking about that. It's funny you should say. Now let's see. I don't really want to build mini storage because you can't upgrade it. So we'll probably just do like a storage depot tier 1 once we've got the nanites for it. And you can see here that we're getting 0.2 from our nanite processor now. Which actually we should upgrade. And I'm going to go ahead and speed the game up. We'll go to ×2 speed, because why not? And I don't think our storage is going to cap out. I think we're going to be okay. Where do we want to put you, storage? You're not going to fit there. I guess we could put you along here, potentially? Maybe, like, right there? Here, we'll go to 4x speed. I mean, I guess we could build this just for... to complete the objective? I guess we can. All right, looking good.
Hi there.
Yeah, this is why I'm not wild about these mini storage things. Even though they have a small footprint, I don't like the fact that you can't upgrade them. So, yeah. But then again, I guess the other storage facilities you can't either. Actually, you know what? I actually no, I think you can. Well, I'll have to double check that, but I think you can actually. These have the same footprint, but the mini storage obviously is a smaller, like 1 square. Yep. Okay. Objective complete.
Your progress is satisfactory. I've been authorized to provide your colony with a small reward. Choose
5
wisely.
immigrants. Here's the thing. It's tempting to go ahead and grab more population, but the reality is once we build an immigration center, they just keep coming. Like, it's just like non-stop, and then you're trying to keep up. So I think I'm actually just going to go for more nanites for construction purposes. Yeah, so we're doing really well on power. We're back over into spring. Things are progressing well. Yep, there we go. Build an immigration center. We were just talking about that. So when we come back in the next one, we'll figure out where we're going to put the immigration center. We'll expand the colony, and we'll look at some more core concepts of the game. So I hope you enjoyed this first episode of this Let's Try, Let's Learn series, and that you join me for more of them. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time, I'm Mal, and I'll see you later.